Thank you.
And we're live.
No, we're live. I left all my whole folder at home, which I was sitting on the counter. It's too early this morning.
Well, my name is Jeff Harrison, and I'm with Swing Point Media, and we're sponsored by SCORE of the Coachella Valley. Actually, it's Coachella Valley SCORE in Palm Desert. Are you familiar with SCORE, by the way? Okay.
Other than just gentlemen.
Great. Well, this will give you an opportunity to understand what SCORE is all about. SCORE is this incredibly strong foundation of, I'm going to call it mind power. And these are people that, you know, I just said I have a coaching session this afternoon. Normally, a hire coach is very expensive. And they want you to be successful, but it's on a revenue basis. It's their business. Well, this is a kind of a cool situation because you have a group of people that said, you know, I'm volunteering my time. But these people have had years and years and years and sometimes decades of successful experience. I think it's like Google. You can't stump them on what they can help you with. So if it's making a career path decision, it's opening a new business, it's writing the paperwork for a loan, whatever, you name it, patents, trademarks, those kind of things, they can help you with it. Now, there are just about 35 here in the Coachella Valley, but there are over 13,000 nationwide. So let's say you go in and you see Ron, and Ron says, well, Martha, I hear what you say, I want to do that. There's not a person here live, but we can get them on the internet and we can have them here. And now they have a resource of 13,000 people. So it's an incredible process, and here's the coolest part about it. There is no charge. You can come as long as you want, as long as you need to, without this obligation to, oh, it's my free trial. And then I have to, you know, belly up. No, you don't have to do that. So that they're interested in you reaching your goal. So it's an incredible opportunity. All you have to do is call or just go down to their office, or actually go to their website at scorecv.org, and you can register right online. So whatever it is you want to do when it comes to business, they can help you out. They're just a great group of people down there. It's amazing. So take advantage of that. And the reason we're here is because I'll call this what we call gap education. Because many of these people, not all of them, but many of them have been out of business for the last 4 or 5 years, maybe 7 years. And so, you know, business has changed tremendously since then. The technology, you know, it's almost like a dog's life. For 1 equals 7. Well, they've been out 4 or 5 years. That's like 20 years of technology evolved in that period of time. Like I was just reading this morning about YouTube, as an example. There's 1 billion views a day. There's over 300 hours of video uploaded every minute to YouTube. It's just mind-boggling. So a lot of things have changed. So we're in the business all day long. Andrew's with Autopilot Your Business, and again, he does this globally. And so we bring in that gap education, and typically it's technology. So that's kind of a little bit about us. Since our group is a little smaller today, and we do have people who join us online, so and they may ask a question, and Amy will answer it or respond to it and get them involved. But really, let's talk specific about what your needs, your goals are. Like as an example, I said, hey, you know, I'm here to show you how to work more hours. No takers. How about, I want you to work harder. You know, you want to work harder? I saw that. You want to work harder? Really? No. You're young. You just got to talk. Give her a finger. You didn't want to. How about this one? This is my favorite. I want to make less money. No, right? You want to, right? It's like, hey, how would you like to work fewer hours, make more money, and get more done, right? More, yeah. Right? A few more yeses. Yeah, I don't have a clue on that. No, I'm just kidding. So that's where the technology comes in. The technology can either chase you and make you run harder and faster, or you can now harness and say, hey, it's like a river. You know, you put a dam up, you're controlling the power of the river. With technology, you're putting control on things and say, hey, you know what, you might get 5 or 6 new people using technology that are filling in your calendar. You didn't even know it. It's all automated, right? There's a, it's called One Response. And so what happens is you put an automated calendar on there. It's on your website. Or if somebody calls in, they can actually schedule your stuff in advance. And what you do is you put on that calendar, hey, when am I available? And as things fill in, those places don't become available any longer. So what happened is if I come on there and I say, well, I'm taking October 22nd at 10 a.m. and this is what I'm going to do. And it's going to be about 2 hours long. Great. Amy comes on right after that. She won't see that opportunity. But then it shows up in your calendar. And all of a sudden, you're just, you know, you're doing what you love to do. You're not doing the stuff that maybe you don't enjoy doing, which is I'm on the phone because that's not productive, but you have to take the calls, right? Or it might be something, as an example, like with Facebook. You know, if you knew how to do that at work at a level, you say, hey, this is all automated. I could do like 30 days in advance. And that's what Amy does. She uses products, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, of saying, we're going to take all of this and say, what if instead of getting online and getting sucked into Alice in Wonderland, maybe you're too young for that, Alice in Wonderland, you're going down this rabbit hole of Facebook or social media in general, and you're going, geez, it's time for lunch. And what have I really gotten done? Instead of saying, I'm going to sit down for 3 hours one day at the beginning of the month, I'm going to put my whole month's worth of Facebook activity out there and be done. How cool is that? Well, we do that all the time. That's what Amy does. She spends per client, about 3 hours a month. And so literally in the first 2 or 3 days of the month, or first week, certainly, all of our clients, all their stuff is done. And you'll see where Andrew, his stuff is done on many different accounts. And he's putting tweets, he's putting Facebook posts, he's doing things like that while he's standing here. So it's like he can be in many places at one time. So those are the kind of things you say, hey, now instead of this flood of activity coming in, we're putting a dam up there and we're controlling it. And it's still, now you get your life back. It's still happening, right? And you're still being more productive. Like we have a client, we were just talking about with Amazon. And that Amazon customer, when he came to us, he had made about $1,000 in sales for the entire year. And this was just about, I think we're just starting on our 4th week. Now we've been doing some business with him, but never in this environment. So we said, well, let's take your product on Amazon that you have there, but let's put it at a different level and let's do some advertising for it and things of that nature. Well, he's made close to $5,000 in 3 weeks of sales, and everything is automated. So it's not like he's chasing down. Before he was, if you bought something, he went out of his garage, boxed it up, he sent it to, he had to go to FedEx or wherever and send it out. Now he just gets an email saying, hey, your product is shipped. And then he gets a check in the mail. How cool is that? So now he has his life back. And so these are the things we want to talk about today. But what I want to know is, in your specific life, business life, saying what kind of things you're thinking, geez, if there were an opportunity out there, what would I like to make more automated? What would I like to make more automated? What do you think, Martha?
I'm not sure.
What is it?
I'm not sure.
Okay, but if you were sure, what would it be?
Can I skip to someone?
Brock, what do you think?
Unless you can show me my business is already automated to the degree that I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as an example, let me ask you this. Do you have a website?
I do not.
Okay. So do you write any articles?
No.
Do you make any videos?
No.
Cool. But you're booked well in advance, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me ask you this. How about when somebody does business with you, before you get in your truck, they've already received a thank you letter via email? Mm-hmm. Or how about this? Say Amy, she has repairs done, right? And she's a first-time client or she's a multi-time client. That no matter what, there's what we call a long-term nurturing sequence of events that happen. Say every month she gets something from you that is relevant and is beneficial for her to get. And it happens whether you're in Tahiti or you're fixing something in Desert Hot Springs. It's happening, so you're in touch with her, so you're keeping her top of mind. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not a bugging thing. So would that make a difference with your clientele as far as maybe potential more referrals?
Definitely.
Yeah, because now somebody says, geez, you know what? My flapper, my toilet's not working. It's like it won't stay down. Well, Martha says, well, I've got this guy named Brock. He does this stuff. Because you're not searching through the phone book metaphorically anymore, Google, and saying, well, who would I get?
You have them in the top of your head.
You're right there. There's only one guy to get a hold of, and that's Brock, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So, if you want to, I was on a roll.
What about if you were paid up front from everybody that's booked in advance? So you've already got their money before you even get out of bed in the morning, right? Then you know your cash flow for the month. You know what's coming up for the month. You don't have to budget on hot weather, cold weather, peak season, off season. You already know that your money's coming in and you're guaranteed X amount of dollars every month. How would that change your business if you knew that?
It probably would not change my business.
If you knew that what money was coming in every week, every month, regardless of how busy it was.
I kind of already have that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, my client, I never have a client who doesn't pay. And
I'm not saying that, no, I'm not saying they don't pay. I'm not
Okay.
saying that. I'm saying that you've already got the money in advance and you get it every month consistently, so you know exactly. I've got a consistent amount of money coming. You still get more money as extra jobs come along, but you've got a consistent amount of money coming in every month. I'll share a story with how that works later.
How about something like this? And I'm giving you plenty of time to think now. Okay. How about if you had something like this? You say, you know what? What if you knew for a fact that 80% of all housewives, when they Googled videos on YouTube, it was how to. And you said, you know what? What if I called Amy and said, Amy, I'm going to go out and do some fixes that I know these are common amongst single mothers, as an example. And we're going to create a video series. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put that in an automated sales funnel out there. And at the end, they can buy my product. And we're only going to do one evergreen. In other words, it'll just be happening. All of a sudden, you're just getting checks in the mail or just being deposited electronic into your account that people like Amy are saying, wow, now I know how to do this. I know how to, like if my vertical blinds do this, I don't have to call because maybe I'm in Duluth, Minnesota, right? But I want to fix this, and I'm saying I can do it myself. I didn't know it was so complicated, or so it wasn't as complicated as it is, and I can do this and this and fix it. Cool, and maybe you have your top 10, and it's just automated. How cool is that? It's not causing any more time. You're already going to be doing the job anyway. Amy comes out and videos them and said, now you have something you're selling. But it happens one of those things where you say, what if now all of a sudden you say, wow, you know, I'm selling more videos than I'm doing handyman work. There may be I don't want to bend down and crawl under a sink anymore. I don't want to crawl up on a ladder anymore. But this revenue is now replacing this revenue, right?
I like that.
Okay, so that's a possibility. That's
Right.
all automations,
Right.
But Linda walked in.
Yeah.
No, what catch my attention was the Facebook part. That she said, okay, you can do 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours, but it's a whole month's work.
That's right.
That's what catch my attention. I was like, yeah.
Because here's what happens. Let's say, for instance, if you're so focused on taking care of putting posts on there right now,
Yeah.
here's the thing. When you put a post out there, as good as you are, as good as that company is, it's only reaching about 2 to 5% of the total likes that are in there. So if you have a fan base of, let's say, 5,000 people, that message is only being pushed out to a very small group of people. But what if you had a way of saying, you know what, now I spend 3 hours a month at the very beginning putting on my posts out there. But then I can spend the rest of the time marketing. So let's say now, because what Amy will show you, she says, now you can say, I'm going to run Facebook ads looking for my ideal client. And I'm going to put ads in front of them that will now say, instead of only 2 to 5%, what if you could move that to 50, 60, 70%? And the people who come are saying, pick me, I'm your ideal client, right?
Yeah.
More likely to say yes instead of just putting it out there and hopefully somebody who friended, or let's say I liked your page, I don't even live near you. So why there's no value there? Here you can say, I want within 50 miles of my business zip code, those are the only people that see my advertising. And I'll have to pay for it when they click on it. And when they click on it, maybe it comes to an article on your website that's a blog about, you know, how to prevent flooding or whatever it may be. And when they leave, we put a little thing called a pixel on there. If you've heard of these, called tracking pixels. It's almost like saying, hey, I'm going to put a little color on your shirt. You won't see it. You won't detect it as odorless colors. But now wherever you go, I can pull it up on the computer. I know exactly where you are. So now what happens? Guess what? Now we've created a relationship. You've now clicked on the ad, said, hey, I'm like that person. You read the article, said, wow, I really like these people.
Yeah.
Building a little authority, building a little trust. Now, when you go back to Facebook, you see a totally different kind of ad, an engaging ad that says, yes, I want to buy your service. And maybe it's a $39.95 a month to make sure you come in every month and just check things out and make sure I'm in good shape to prevent that from happening. But also you're going, wow, here's a whole new revenue stream of $39.95 a month, all automated. How cool is that? Take that back to your boss if they're not doing it,
That's so cool.
right? So that's a kind of an idea. Anything else besides Facebook? That probably gets your promotion right there. All right.
Okay,
Cool.
well,
Cool. Welcome.
hi,
How are you? Welcome.
thank you.
What is your name?
My name is Stephanie Bartelt. My company is Ubara. We provide sun protection for women. It's a line of hats with detachable scarves and carry bags, UPF, ultraviolet protective factor 50+ rating.
Wow.
Very elegant product, which is engineered to do the work. Patented, ready to launch very shortly, so I am swimming in all of this.
Yeah.
And
Good.
trying not to be owned or confused or taken down by it.
Yeah. Andrew, would you give her some floaties so she can stay alert and catch her breath? There you go. Well, at this point, what I want to do is I want to, because I wanted to pique your interest and say, hey, this stuff works. I mean, we do it every day, right? While we're here, we have business going on. We've already, just to give you an idea, we've already transcribed an audio recording. We've already posted on a blog. We've already, what else? We've already probably put out posts. We've already checked on sales from Amazon. We've already notified our client from that. You've probably done tons of things. And we're here. It's happening. That's where automation is. That's where you can be in multiple places at one time. And somebody says, man, how do you get all this done? Because unless you can do this, there has to be a different way. And my point is this. Unless you can give me 25 hours a day, literally, not make me work 25 hours a day, but can you give me an extra hour a day? Is anything going to change, right? Because it's one of those things saying, what if all of a sudden I took, like we have a client that now she says, if you used her software, it would, from an accounting standpoint, it would give you about, what, 20 hours? 20 hours a week. Imagine what would happen if you had 20 more hours a week to do something you love to do. You do it out of passion or make your business run better. Hopefully that's the same thing, right? But it doesn't mean that you have to give up something. It just means all of a sudden, hey, this is automated. That's the world we're living in. So does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'd like to know about the client with the automated accounting software.
Oh, good. We'll let you know about that.
I need that referral.
Actually, it's
Good, good.
these guys.
All right, good. And Linda, you've been here before, and thank you for coming. We appreciate that.
Well,
She
I'm
is-
lucky to be here, and I was in a very bad car accident.
Well, I'm sorry. So I'm
Praise
glad.
God, I'm here right
I'm glad
now.
you're here.
Yeah,
Good.
and Ron came to my rescue.
Ron is, if you haven't noticed, Ron has a big S on his chest. He is a good guy. So thank you, Ron. I appreciate that. So, all right. Well, I'd like to introduce now Andrew McCauley. Andrew's going to come up and he's going to actually go through all the working of that. But stop and ask questions, and because I've got to go catch up on automation. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you very much.
All right. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
So, so automation, I live and breathe this. In fact, my business is called Autopilot Your Business. So we believe in it so much that we've been doing this for a long time. I want to start off with a little story and tell you a story about a friend of mine who was a plumber. And he was a plumber that was very busy, had a lot of work going on. He was booked out in advance, but he was working hard. He was working to the bone and making his dollar, but he needed a smarter way to do it. And in fact, he was having trouble because the cash flow for him was that people were paying, and sometimes they weren't paying straight away. They might have been paying a week or two later or whatever it was. And when he needed to buy, equipment or parts and pieces, he had to have that struggle of matching the money at the right time. So, so we worked with him for a little while, and we said, well, let's create a system, an automated system that helps you with this issue. So what we did was we basically created a membership site for him. Okay, so his clients became members of his business. Now, what this meant was that as a member, they were paying a monthly fee. It might have been a $25 a month, I think, fee that they paid every month. And for that $25 a month, he would go out to their place twice a year, almost twice a year, and do a service call on their hot water system or their dishwasher or their plumbing stuff, so that he was preventing problems before they actually happened. Because he was getting sick of being called out at 2 o'clock in the morning. Good clients he's had for years, they feel the need, they could call him at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, hey, my hot water's broken. So what he did was he was able to create a system where he would go and order, or he would book a time that suited him to go and look at their appliances in order to prevent problems coming up. Now, when he was there, of course, he would look around the house and check all the bits and pieces, and he'd say, "Hey, Mr. Smith, this is getting worn, or this washer's getting fixed. Do you need that fixed?" Or alternatively, she'd say, "I've been waiting for you to come along. While you're here, can you fix this other problem?" Now, the cool thing about that was that he wasn't going to charge a call-out fee for them. They knew that, but they said, "We're happy to pay you. If you're here, you might as well fix it." And sometimes they would wait those extra weeks or months till he got there, but he was always getting upselling extra business for it as well. I think he went on to have a couple of hundred clients every month that would pay him $25 a month regardless. And what that did for him was they were his VIP clients. So if they did have a problem, emergency, they'd call him and say, "Hey, I'm a member, here's my client number," and they would go to the top of the list. So if he had to go out and say, "Well, am I going to a random call or a members call?" they would get to the top of the list. People knew this. They knew how much they were paying for their plumbing maintenance for the year. And he was able, and in fact, so what the other part to this was, he was able to let them schedule the time for his visit. So, for instance, they would come along. Let's say after you wanted to book in a time for Brock to come along, okay, and you go to his calendar, automated calendar on his website, and you'd look at this calendar that was synced to Brock's own personal calendar. Now, Brock had business all day Friday and Monday, and he only had available times between 3 and 6 on Tuesday. That you wouldn't know what he was doing. You just know that there was available time. So you'd say, "Oh, you know what? That suits me. 4 o'clock on Tuesday." You select it. It automatically goes to his calendar. So in the morning, Tuesday, he gets up and looks at his calendar, goes da 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 da. Oh, Martha's at 4 o'clock. Right. So all this was automated. No phone calls. No need to be jumping on the phone and trying to book something. Martha says, "Can you do Tuesday?" And you'd be like, "No, I'll call you back. I'll see if I can do Thursday." None of that was there. It all disappeared. And the other cool thing was all the billing was automated as well. Right, so all of the billing, because people were paying up front, you didn't need to go and write invoices, you didn't need to go do all that sort of stuff. It was all automated. If there was extra stuff that needed to be done, you had a little app that you could just type out while you're sitting talking about, "Okay, there you go, Martha, there's the bill, it's been emailed to you, done." You don't have to go home and do paperwork. So this guy suddenly freed up his time, got rid of the billing, knew how much money was coming in every month, and the calendar was booked by other people rather than him. So yeah, that's just part of automation, what we did for this guy. So similar sort of situation, service provider that needed to automate a lot of that sort of stuff.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
That was very interesting what you just shared. When people buy homes, they usually buy a plan to protect their appliances and things like that.
Yep.
Home shield.
Mhm.
Would that affect his business in his plumbing and all that?
No, not at all.
That's not protected.
Not at all, because not all of his clients were brand new homeowners.
Okay.
Right? Some people have been living there for years. A lot of people live in their house for years. And that's an appliance. He doesn't go to fix an appliance.
That's that plumbing.
It's plumbing. If the hot water system goes out, or
Like
you
a
got
washing machine or
drain block, all that sort of stuff.
dishwasher.
It happens. Showers don't work, taps don't work,
Yeah.
washers leak. You don't get that covered under insurance. So there's always need for a plumber,
Okay.
regardless of how new your house is. Is that right, Amy?
Yes.
So yeah, does that answer that question?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So what I want to do, I want you to jump in pairs, and Linda, you may have done this, but you're an expert at this. I want you two guys to get together, Linda and Stephanie. Thank you. Get together. I want you to just come up with a couple of things that you've noticed that have been automated over the last 10 years. Okay. So I'll give you a couple of examples. Firstly, toll booths. Right? Is it the 241? I keep asking that question every time. You think I'd write it down.
241 or 243.
One of those. There's a freeway in Orange County that it's a toll road. Okay, now in the old days, you used to drive up, there'd be a guy at the booth and you'd have to stop and pay, and then they automated it so that you could actually have a basket where you drive up and you could throw the money into the toll booth, right? But you still have to stop. Now, if you drive down there in the last 12 or 18 months, there is none of that anymore. You don't even stop. You're still going 190 miles an hour through the toll booth. Automated. Take photos. It's automated.
You're getting charged.
You know you're getting charged. Comes out of your bill. All automated, right? So that's what's happened over the last 10 years. Is automation. What else has been automated? Let me give you another example. I was at an airport recently, and there was a big booth, vending machines, right? And it was Best Buy booth, and you could buy headphones, you could buy, I guess a Walkman, they don't have those anymore. MP3 players, cameras, cameras. Like you can buy all this stuff. Now, do you think that Best Buy are paying a staff member to maintain that right now? But they're making money in a busy trafficked area for products that those sort of people, travelers, would want to buy. And they're not putting in cash. They're putting in a credit card. So no one even has to come and clean out the machine. Maybe they're going to fill up a vendor once a month or once every couple of weeks to come by and stock the stuff that's been sold. But this is fully automated. So Best Buy now have a shop at an airport without having to pay in stuff, right? So that's the sort of stuff. So what I want you to do is think outside the box. What sort of things have you seen automated around the home, as you're going out and about? All right, we'll jot those down. You two guys can work together. You guys can work together. Come up with some things that you've seen that's automated.
In Macy's, when you go to Macy's, they have these photos they
And very automated bill pay. And then nutritional supplements.
Actually, even like your when you have trouble with your phone. Oh yeah, the finger thing. Yeah. But I'm thinking that they have the online chat. Yeah, so I guess that's to some degree automated. But I wouldn't be surprised if online chat, you start chatting with the machine.
Then I just got this thing from HP computer, they wanna send me automated ink.
I've heard of
And
that.
I kinda like that, cause I hate going to my bank, it's a whole lot cheaper doing automated. So they send
In
it to
fact,
me.
What did you say?
on Apple, like, I think the last time I called Apple, it said, first of all, it knows who I am.
Yeah.
It goes, hello, Rob. And it goes, tell me what the problem is. I can understand full and complete
That
sense.
otherwise is going in.
You're listening to a machine. A machine is listening to you.
Yeah, department too. To that.
Off the DMV. In fact, I showed up early.
Yeah.
Let's see,
Automated.
I showed up early
Fresh
at
water,
DMV.
like if you
Half an hour
have
before it opened.
open system, they show up with water.
200-300 people.
Uh,
This was what I did. So it opens, and I'm sitting there. I start playing on my phone.
Oh,
Within
like
15
sometimes
minutes,
like
I
there's
did
this,
online on my phone.
organic
You were
Waiting in line, and I was like, see ya! And I left. Yeah.
that bring produce, every week,
So,
for a fee, and you
So
don't really know what
DMV,
produce you're getting that which is ripe, hopefully, and, how's that?
I
They had it in Portland, Oregon, I moved here from there, just, this, oh, cool, yeah. So I
Billboards
just,
were a good example.
yeah, I just moved down here, so they had that over there. And I'm sure
Check
they
out
have
the
it
grocery
down
store.
Oh, yeah. But I'm just a single person household, right?
GPS.
So, and I travel for work, so it's, even though conceptually I love the idea, and if I had to do it,
All right, we'll give about 30 seconds. 30 seconds, we'll wrap that up.
Oh my God, the pressure.
Pressure.
Oh, yeah, the
Um,
neighbors. Oh, it's Farmer Joe.
Yeah, Wi-Fi.
He's writing down.
Yeah. So.
I'll share one that I thought was really kind of cool before Andrew starts again, is one of our clients we have coming aboard, we needed to create another number so that we know when he sends clients to us to answer his phone, we know we see that line coming in, we know to answer, hey, it's Global, whatever the name of the company is. So, sometimes it's pretty complicated, it's very expensive, but there's a company called, and it's an app on your, the app store, it's called TOO.
And what's that for?
Is for an extra number. So let's say, for instance, in this case, for $1.99 a month, we get a new phone number. And now we can dedicate it for his calls coming in. But imagine, let's say, for instance, you had an emergency phone number, right? So that you know, hey, for $1.99 a month, this is the red hot only number. So you give that number. So now when you see that ringing, you know this is truly an emergency.
I like that.
Right? TOO. It's $1.99 a month. It is for your iPhone. I'm sure they have it for Android, and you can have it on there. It's pretty slick.
And people could subscribe to me,
Yeah.
and not everybody gets that phone number. Only the people who said, and so that gives people security.
Members only,
Yeah.
sort of thing. Same deal.
Yeah.
So how do you get that?
Through your iPhone, or iPad, you just go to the App Store, and it's TOO. TOO. Right. So, yeah.
Thank you, Jeff. Awesome. So let's find out, Stephanie. What did you come up with? Some automation things that have been happening.
Although I have a new product line that I'm here to launch, I have been a real estate broker for 28 years. And so I've always, for many, many years, automated my client profiles to send them listings real-time billing.
Yep.
Automated bill pay, automated nutritional monthly deliveries. I have an HP jet printer and I get automated ink replacement.
Wow.
Automated fresh water delivery, organic produce.
What do you mean organic produce? What's automated about that?
Well, like they deliver on a weekly basis.
Right.
So it's automated.
So is that
Sorta.
is that
It's automated.
well there's smart fridges out there.
Oh.
There's smart fridges out there, and I think in Amazon Fresh, which is a department of Amazon now,
Oh.
give you a little device like this, and if you go into your fridge and you'll scan the milk. If you need nearly out of milk, you go click, scan the milk, it adds it to your shopping cart and puts it on the next delivery.
Oh, wow.
So you're in the fridge and you're looking, okay, I need some peanut butter, I need some this, and this, bang, and that's it. It goes to your order, or it goes to your order the next morning, or even that afternoon. Bang, you delivered your stuff.
So who shows up?
Amazon.
The Amazon.
Amazon shop, big green.
Droid?
You won't see it in the valley here, but in LA you'll see them all over the place. Big
Ah.
green Amazon Fresh trucks.
Oh,
New York and some of the big cities.
yeah.
It's moving out.
Wow.
Moving up, but it's fully automated. Now that's an Amazon Fresh. There's a fridge that also does the same thing, that you can punch in what you're waiting for, and it sends it off to order and that sort of stuff.
Smart fridge.
Smart fridge.
I mentioned the Jetsons had one years ago. We're just catching up.
Yeah, well, they're about to be dumb fridges from the Jetsons because they're moving ahead. Of us. Cool. What else did you have?
Those were my 5.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
yeah.
Awesome. And even with the printers, there's printers now that you can have in your home that are connected to your Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have wires anymore.
Right.
Oh, I'm going to print this page, bang,
Yeah.
print it off. So that's pretty cool. What did you guys come up with?
The DMV.
What? Tell me about the automation part. People that smile.
Martha?
Yes.
Martha. I told Martha about, I showed up at the DMV a half an hour before it opened, and there was already like 200 people in line. So I'm standing there going, oh my God, this is going to take forever. And then I went, wait a minute. I went online, and within about 15 minutes, purchased, did whatever transaction I needed to do. And I think I even did that right after the place opened. And I literally just got out of line and went home.
Yeah.
Went on to work.
Awesome.
And online support. I called Apple recently.
Yep.
And first of all, they know who I am. They go, hello, Brock.
Yep.
I can help you with your problem. I understand complete sentences. Tell me what the problem is. So here I've been able to give the information, and they can even give me information, and they haven't had to pay someone to listen to me.
Voice recognition.
Yeah.
Voice recognition software.
Yeah.
Right. And then you do Google. Okay, Google. On your iPhone, okay, Google, tell me where to go.
Right.
Yes.
And it'll tell you without having to
Siri
speak
is
to anyone.
Right.
Siri.
Yeah.
Yes.
Siri.
Love Siri.
Call my mom. Right.
Yeah.
So all this sort of stuff.
Right.
Pretty cool.
I mean, Siri was so cool. I programmed my mom's information in my phone
Using Siri.
and didn't even refer to her as mom. And then one day hit the button, call mom. And I'm like, why would Siri came back. What contact would you like me to associate to mom? And I went, oh, Dorothy Bennett. Okay. From now on, you can say mom, and I'll call Dorothy Bennett,
Yeah.
It's just amazing, yeah.
That's funny.
So,
Cool.
okay, let's see
What else
here.
you got?
iPhone, the fingerprint.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, self-checkout.
Self-checkout at the supermarkets?
Yes.
The best.
Yeah.
And then
Although,
GPS.
if you've ever been to Albertsons here in the valley, they got rid of them.
They got rid of them, yeah.
Yeah. I
Why?
said, whoa, what's going on? They said,
Yeah.
well, too much pilfering, too much people not checking out properly,
Yeah.
and we had problems with machines, so we had to keep having someone fix it all up.
They have to have someone stand there anyway
Right.
for the helpless people like
Yeah.
me. It's like.
So Albertsons got rid of them all across the valley, which I found very interesting. I don't think it's across their entire network, but in the valley, maybe we're just a little bit slower on the
Union
uptake.
issue also.
Hey,
It's a union issue also.
union issue.
Yeah, with Everton, yeah. Now I have a question. The success of my business is because I don't look too automated.
Right.
I
I
can see
work
that.
for a lot of older people who, about a third, sometimes half of my day, I'm therapist more than I'm handyman,
Yep.
and they don't have a problem paying me $60 an hour. I'm holding a drill in my hand and I'm standing in their kitchen, and I'm like, okay, I've been here a half an hour, and they're still telling me about their grandson who just, went into rehab and, and all this kind of stuff. And at the end of the day, they don't care. And so it's interesting how it values me to not let my business look automated.
But I'm not saying automate everything, but there are parts to it that you could automate, right?
That's exactly.
Yeah.
I want to be automated, but not the appearance of being automated.
And I think
So-
that's good that you're doing that, because that it's a point of difference that you do take time to listen, whereas a lot of people come in and
Yeah.
You see, I charge by the hour.
Right.
And there's so many
It
people.
doesn't say what you're charging for. You just charge by the hour.
Right.
If they wanna
I
talk
mean,
about
door
rehab.
to, I walk in the door. I'm on the clock.
Yep.
And there's so many people who they don't even know how to ask. They don't even know how to tell me what the problem is. Those kinds of people are the people who are willing to pay to just a safe person to be in their home, to just, I can't even tell you what the problem is. I have to figure out what the problem is, without them even, it's over there. And I'm like, okay, here we go, oh, is it the same? I think. And I'm like, okay. So.
We get the same with website stuff.
Yeah.
All the time. My website doesn't work. Okay. Which bit?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Awesome. So yeah, that's. I'm glad you take the time to do that, because it's going to be a point of difference than other people that don't. And this is your business too, right? So it's you care for it. You have more passion about it than any employee will ever have.
Right.
So yeah. Good. Okay. What else you got?
Okay, the iPhone, the fingerprint. That's amazing.
The log on.
Yeah.
The security thing. Yep.
Yeah. The GPS.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to use anything.
Nice. What's a
Yeah.
map these days?
Yeah, seriously.
Yep.
What else? Well, there's a lot of stuff.
There is,
actually.
right? And that's
Like,
my
it's-
point. That's my point. A lot of people don't think, they think automation, they think, well, I don't really know much about it. But when you start looking at what's happened in the last 10 years, things are changing rapidly. All right, so what I want to do, I want to show you 3 tools that that you can use. This may be for, a lot of this will be marketing aspects, okay? So social media stuff. There'll be some tools that we can show you for accounting and invoicing and that sort of stuff. I think, Stephanie, you're after that sort of thing, is that right?
Say that again.
You're after tools that help you with your accounting and your automation,
Absolutely.
invoicing
Yeah.
and stuff.
Mhm.
So I'm going to show you some of those. Let me just give you a quick run through.
Oh, yeah.
Hootsuite, have you heard of Hootsuite? No, this will be your new best friend. It's going to cost you about $10 a month, possibly, if not, it's going to be free. Okay, so Hootsuite is a social media dashboard which basically lets you log on to all your different accounts at the same time and manage all your profiles. So whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook groups, Twitter accounts, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, whatever account you've got, it lets you all in one spot. Now, the beauty about this is that, have you ever logged on to Facebook and suddenly gone down the black hole of, oh, there's a nice kitten, oh, there's my friend doing this, and suddenly you're thinking, what happened to that last hour I've been looking at photos of dogs and cats? So Hootsuite sort of keeps you on track to what you need to do, but also it doesn't mean you have to log out of Facebook or get out of Facebook, go to Instagram and log into that, or go and log into Twitter and see what's going on. You can control all of your stuff from the one spot. So you can set your time and say, I've got an hour to do this today, or half an hour, 10 minutes to do this now. I can log in, post some stuff, and then move on. Hootsuite also lets you schedule a lot of your stuff too. So you want to post things for the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you can set up all your posts for Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever, set them to a date and a time, and then let them come out at that particular time. So as Jeff said, we're posting stuff right now. We probably are because we've set it up in Hootsuite a month ago. In some cases, I've set things up a year in advance so that I know I've got tweets for the rest of the year coming out. I'm always being active. Now, having said that, it doesn't mean that I don't go in and interact with people, because engagement's super important. But posting information, maybe quotes, maybe a valuable piece of information that my followers want to follow me with, that will come out. But I'll go and check every couple of days just to see if anyone's made a comment or made some shared it, and I'll let them know that, hey, thanks for sharing, or thanks for commenting. So that's Hootsuite. We're going to dig into the back end of that in just a moment. Any questions about Hootsuite?
I do actually. Since you said that you post everything about, like, in 3 hours you can post what you want, a month's work.
Yep.
But the pictures are old. What if you want to update them? Like, what if you want to put? Do you just put them in online, or how
the
does
pictures
it work?
themselves? You can load up pictures for what?
Yeah,
For which platform? I mean,
You know, like, okay,
for Instagram.
yeah, for Instagram, Facebook, whatever. They're gonna be a month's old pictures. Like,
Depends on what your picture is. Like, there's pictures that you'll have that you need to have today. Like, you took a photo from yesterday, you want to go today. You may have to do that manual. But there's other pictures that you may say, this is an evergreen picture. This is a picture that doesn't have a time date associated to it. Okay, so it might be, for instance, you're taking pictures of a newly cleaned up place that Serpro just cleaned up and made nice. That picture is nice and clean. It doesn't matter whether it goes out today or next month. It's like, hey, here's a recent result from a client. Well, here's what we did to a recent house. You don't have to say recently yesterday or recently 6 months ago. It's a recent result. Or here's the before and after pictures of what happened with this client. Now, that doesn't have to be today. Okay, it was nice to put it out today because you finished the house yesterday. But it can also be valuable for 6 months down the track as well. Does that make sense?
yes.
Yeah. If it was an event, here's some photos of Coachella 6 months ago. People are going, what's all that about? That was like, get with the times. You know, so if it's a recent event, you know, the golf cart parade's on there, and you've got a golf cart going down, a Serpro golf cart, then you want to make that relevant and send that picture out on the Sunday or the Monday after the parade. It wouldn't make sense to send it out 6 months later. Does that make sense?
Yes, it is.
Cool. Anything else about Hootsuite? I'll dig into it and I'll show you a bit more in it. Buffer is another one that I like. Buffer is one where you can set up specific times. Now, if you know when your market and your clientele are reading tweets or posts, let's say that your market, Stephanie, is, who's your market? 40-year-old plus women?
Yeah, 40 to 65 for health and or aesthetic reasons. We need advanced coverage, but don't want to sacrifice their fashion for the purpose.
Right, so they'd be likely online about 2 a.m. in the morning normally. No, they're not, right? So, but there's probably a time frame when the majority are they early morning clientele? Are they a late afternoon, mid morning sort of thing? You get to know when they are on, right?
Do Buffer and Hootsuite have any market studies that indicate when certain market demographics are most often market?
There are studies out there that do that.
I know there's A/B testing that can work with that kind of thing, but
it depends on what you're A/B testing. But there are studies that tell you that. But also, it's going to be a little bit about when do you get the best responses from your posts as well. A study for your own market too.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about Buffer is that you can set up time. So let's say that your target market are a morning crowd. Okay, so anywhere from 6:30 in the morning to 11:30, they're online, they're active because the rest of the day they're out doing other stuff. So you might set up Buffer to say, I want a post to go out at 6:35, I want one to go at 7:40, I want one to go at 8:59. So you automatically every day have a post going out. So what you do is you look for good content or you create some posts and you load up your account. It's almost like a filing system. You load up your different tweets or posts, and then at exactly the time you told Buffer to send it out, it's sending it out at that time.
So
every day.
With Hootsuite, you can do the same thing.
You can. Yep.
Okay. Which do you like better? Which do you think?
I use both, and I'll tell you why I use both. Buffer is great for my content going out, so I set it up for going out. I like Hootsuite for controlling everything that's going on. So going out is Buffer, so I send it all out to my different accounts through Buffer. And then on my Hootsuite, I am looking at what's coming in, basically, who's interacting with my stuff that's gone out. So I can control it, and I'll show you why Hootsuite is good, because it's got different aspects, all the different platforms all in one nice spot.
As far as the metrics, you mean?
No, as far as the actual what's going on, like the tweets and the posts, I can see inside Hootsuite. I can't see other people. I can't see my accounts feeds in Buffer. Right, I can't see that, and I just like the way Buffer lets me send that out when I'm on a website and I see a web page and I want to share it with people. I can click the little Buffer icon, bang, it's sent out for me. With Hootsuite, I've got to still name the time and date that I want to do that. And that's a couple of clicks extra, which is a pain in the ass, because if I'm doing setting up 30 at once, I don't want to be doing 30 times 3 extra clicks, which is 100 clicks. Do you know how long 100 clicks takes these days? Does that make sense? And I'll show you, give a quick background of that in the next few minutes. And the one other one I've got here is called Zapier. Now this is where, so a quick little background is that when Microsoft were building programs in the old days, back in the 80s and 90s, they were building them from people who worked at Microsoft. Okay, so if you worked inside the walls of Microsoft, you'd be involved with creating the program. If you wanted to get in the back end of that program, you had to work for Microsoft, right? Now what's happened is Apple came along and a few others said, hey, we've got this awesome platform that we've built, but we've got smart people outside these rooms that could help us run some cool programs and use the platform, our platform, to run their programs. So that's where these apps come in. This is where apps came into play. Apple opened up, Google soon followed, and now everyone, Facebook, Twitter, all have these what they call third-party apps. They're saying, we've got a platform, you build a little tool to use our engine, and you can use, you can go and sell that. And we'll make a little bit of money on the side. But what's happening now, you can get an app for anything, right? There's an app for that. There's an app for that is not built by everyone at Apple. It's built by people who had a need or a problem to fulfill. Okay, so Jeff talked about the app TOO. It wasn't built by Apple. It was built by somebody else that said, hey, here's an issue that we've got to fix. Let's create an app. So what Zapier does is it goes and finds all the different programs. There's 500 different platforms that they use, whether it's your invoicing platform, whether it's marketing, whether it's accounting software, that have all these back ends open to us. And this company here hooks two programs together. So if you've got a need to have your accounting software send you a link to your Twitter account, you can do it. Why would you want that? No, but you can do it. They hook them up together. So this is a really cool tool to have things like your automate your invoicing program, maybe hook it up to your bank account. You can do it through here. You can have an email get sent out to, every time somebody signs up for your program, you can get an email sent to your account, sort of thing. Right, so there's lots of cool things you can do with Zapier. I'm not going to go too deep into it. Just understand that it's opened up the whole game for everybody. And this is called if. It used to be called IFTTT. If this, then that. Now, if this, then that means that if something happened, then do something else. Have you ever seen or heard of? There's now Philips light bulbs, the smart bulbs. Have you seen these? The Philips smart light bulbs. They're hooked to your Wi-Fi. Have you seen these ones? Mm-hmm. So you can have light bulbs that hook to your Wi-Fi, and then with this tool here, you can have things like, if my wife rings, turn the globe blue. Why would you want to do that? I don't know. But you can have, if somebody texts me about my car, flash the lights. Or if it's raining outside, the lights go flash. So you can hook things up that are really weird. If the weather app says it's going to be 40 degrees and raining, turn on my Nest heater. Turn my heater on. So it's all sort of automated stuff that you can do. That's a bit extreme, but you can also do things like, if I post an Instagram, if I post a photo to my Instagram, automatically post it out to my Twitter account as well. Mm-hmm. So when all you do is do your normal Instagram photo, bang, your Twitter account is sending that out as well at the same time. So you can do lots of little things like that.
Would Hootsuite do like that?
Sorry?
Would Hootsuite do that?
Yeah, it does, but you can, if you're on Instagram and you're out and about and you're taking photos, you're at the golf cart parade and bang, there's a photo, send it to Instagram, bang, straight out to Twitter. You don't even have to play with that third party either. right? Or it may be if I take a photo and send it to Instagram, email it to my boss so he knows. You can't do that, but your boss wants to know that you're doing some work. So he sees an email from you saying, I just posted this Instagram photo, go and check it out. So he gets to see that sort of stuff. Right, there's lots of little different tools. What I'm going to do is a couple of minutes, I'm going to just dig into Hootsuite. I'm not going to dig into the other ones, but I just want to show you the back end of Hootsuite. Is that okay if I give you a tour of that one quickly before we wrap up? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, good. All right. So let's have a look here. So this is Hootsuite here. I'm going to just sit down so you can see this screen. Can you all see that? Am I in the way? All right. So basically, up the top here you have a message where you can compose a message up the top. So I want to go and post a message up the very top. Can you all see that there?
Yeah.
I have different profiles that I can go and send it to. So if I wanted just to send it to that one there, that means that profile, I'll send a message out to people that are followers of this profile here. Okay, that's one of my Twitter accounts. I've got a couple of different Twitter accounts. I can go and schedule this. I can go and schedule the date and the time in the future when I want to send this out. So I pick the date in the future, pick a time, and then I can just save that. I'm not going to go and do that right now, but I can schedule that. And then at that particular time and date, that's when that tweet goes out. Now, while I'm in here, I also have the ability to look at my different feeds. So here I have all of my Twitter feeds coming in, so I can quickly look at what's going on for my Twitter followers if I want to read what's going on. If anybody mentions me, I can look at who's mentioned me. I can go back and comment or speak. You know, I can reply to these people right from here. I don't have to log into Twitter. If anybody mentioned, this is my other account. Then I've got lists of people. If I'm following a list of people, so for instance, you might have a list of experts in your area that you want to find out what's going on. You can actually follow them and speak to them directly from here as well. Then you've got things like Facebook groups. Any Facebook group that you are an owner of, if you've got a Facebook group, you can actually reply to people or like things directly from in here, so you're not getting stuck in Facebook with all that other stuff that's going on there as well. Facebook pages, if you've got a Facebook page, you can see different things coming in from your Facebook page. In that blank white space there, clearly that should be loaded up. There we go. And then you've got other things like YouTube channels. So you've got YouTube videos in your own YouTube video. You can go and click on Instagram, you've got Foursquare, or you can go and add a new network. So if I click on social network, it basically comes back and it says, what sort of apps? These are all the different things. If you've got MailChimp, you can go follow all your mail outs. If you've got a MailChimp, if you've got emails sending out to people, you can go and follow that. SlideShare, Tumblr, YouTube, Zendesk, all sorts of different networks as well. You can really get to use. And as I said, this is one of those tools. You want to have to play around with it, but you can certainly schedule things as you go throughout. Just saves you a lot of time. As we load our stuff up for months in advance or weeks in advance, so we don't have to be sitting there every day trying to post new stuff. Any questions about that, Stephanie? No, you've used it before?
No, I haven't used it, but I've looked at it, and I've looked at Buffer as well. And what I'm doing with my website, ubara.com, is I'm going to use SquareUp for my online store. And with SquareUp, there are a lot of apps that work well with it. And so I'm trying to figure out which accounting app to work with, and also how to automate the social media.
With this one here, this is a free. You can get this for free if you've got 3 profiles. So you might have a Facebook account, a LinkedIn account, and a Twitter account. If you've only got 3, you can use this tool for free.
Yeah, that's Hootsuite. And I want to see if Hootsuite or Buffer links in with the SquareUp and with my web profile. What will be the easiest and most conducive way for me to herd all of the cats that are this website?
Yep. With your Square, when you say link up, what do you mean by link up with Square?
Well, because you have Square and it's the online store, so you have your product in there and you have your SKUs and you have the things that you're selling.
Right.
But also through the website, through SEO, come interested parties who then press the buy button, who then go to the store, who then need to be captured so that they can be marketed to and nurtured,
Right.
so that they become a brand advocate, so they keep coming back.
These will not. You don't need to hook that up, because what you're using social media is a tool to drive traffic to your website.
Yeah.
Okay. So these will hook up to your tools that drive traffic. This won't hook up to your website as such, like you think it does. All you need to do is hook up to your social sites. So when you post things, you're sending traffic back to your store.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but then as far as a database of those captured,
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
that'd be
brand
something else, like a
advocates,
MailChimp. That'd be like a
that's-
MailChimp or something like that
Yeah.
that you'd use.
and through Square Up, they have the ability, they have social media and email campaign abilities, but in order to utilize that, you have your already built databases, which I have,
Mhm.
but then you have the new incoming,
Mhm.
which you gotta capture and document so that you can get them into a database, so that you can,
Lots of moving parts, isn't it?
it's crazy.
Yeah.
So with your business, let me defer back to you. I read the bio online
Mhm.
and I found it on the SCORE website,
Mhm.
and that's how I ended up here, because I started.
Yes, the
talking-
website's working right.
Yeah. I started talking to SCORE yesterday, and over the weekend I saw your
Uh-huh.
event, and so I signed up.
Great.
And anyway, so your business works with clients
Mhm.
and helps them automate and manage the
Yeah.
whole
Certainly we can do that sort of stuff too. So
the whole group of
yeah,
moving
speak to me
parts?
after that and we can have a look at what you need, and then we can work that out.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I'll give you my card after that.
Because I'm not an expert.
I'll give you a copy later. Linda.
Kidding.
Yeah, cool. How about you? Was this interesting?
This is way beyond what I need.
Right.
Yeah.
For the marketing side of things, for sure. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'm just word of mouth, and
Mhm.
people. I mean, I'm set up so that when people call me, and if it's not programmed in my phone, I don't answer it.
Right.
They listen to my answering machine message. I've been
Yeah.
compacted in a lot of information, and if they like the information, they leave a message.
Mm-hmm.
2/3 of the people who call me don't leave a message.
You're right.
They heard something, I weed them out. I don't have to have the
Yeah,
conversation.
good.
So
That's
in a
good.
way, I'm kind of already automated.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and I don't work for multiple people a day. It's
Right, right,
usually I'm working for someone for a couple of days. So one phone call can take care of 2 days worth of business.
Sure. Yeah. Good. That's good. Awesome. Okay.
This one.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
I think you'll like this tool.
I've never seen this before. Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Yeah, it's a good tool. As I said, go and get a free version. Have a play with it. They have a really good website that teaches you sort of stuff as well. So definitely. All right. I think that's about it. Did you want to add anything else, Jeff?
Just one little thing.
Thank you.
It's about 20 minutes long. No, I'm just kidding.
Little.
Many times we get to the point where we really can't do any more, and we see this with let's say chiropractors. They can't see any more any more patients. They can't adjust any more backs. So they're always looking for another resource or another product that they sell. Now, you are an employee, so it may be a different mindset. You own your own company. And it's one of those things we talked about a little earlier about creating content that is evergreen, that just is out there and it's selling all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like sometimes think about, hey, what is possibly out there that my clients that I currently have might utilize? Now, I'll give you a real quick example. Back in 2008, I was at La Quinta Resort in PGA West at a time. I'm sorry, can you not do that, please?
I'm sorry.
Thank you. And so I was there during that time, and during that time, I was hired for their marketing, and it was an idea that said, hey, Brock, you're hired, and you're responsible for $13 million of revenue, but you have no budget. So what I did is I said, hey, who are people that would use my product, and they're doing business with ServPro, And so I would go to ServPro and say, how about we communicate to your database? We make them an offer through this La Quinta Resort in PJ West because you have this database of an ideal client. Because even when I got there, Brock, there was a database that was 23. There were 23,000, but they hadn't spoken to them in almost a year. In other words, they were stale. It would just be a spamaholic kind of situation. So I started with 0. In about 12 to 18 months, we had over 1 million people on our database through those kind of communications, right? So we said, who's our ideal client? Let's go talk to them and let's let them put out an offer from them as a free gift. And here's the cool thing. You're coming as a referral. How strong are referrals in your business? They're just like, boom, right? There's not a whole lot of selling because it's where you've already been sold. This guy's great. He does this. Everything's automated. He's a great. He comes in and listen to my grandkid's story while he fixes my thing, and then we're out of here. It still saves me a lot of money because I don't have to go to a therapist now, right? Whatever, whatever.
Yeah, value is value.
Yeah.
Exactly. So those tend to be referrals, and all of a sudden you're now creating this goodwill and relationship with people that are most likely to say yes, and you're not competing with that other business. Because there's going to be a point where you're saying, hey, maybe you have an offer, right? Maybe now ServPro has an offer for Brock, and it goes the other way. And all of a sudden it's like, wow, you're sending out some communication. Yeah, you're getting goodwill. And you're saying, hey, I'm sending something to Linda that I know Linda, because of her profile, would like this and use this. And it might be something that with the skincare. It might be that, and all of a sudden I'm going, wow, I don't have to go out and find and beg people to sign up for my list. You already have the ideal client. See? And all of a sudden you build this massive database that comes from referrals. So these are, again, are all automated processes. So think about, again, our thing is we stir up the ideas. We kind of stir up that gray matter. And then you walk away and say, yeah, you know, what if I had something that was automated? As soon as I walked out, I know my client just got an email telling me how much I appreciate, or how much I appreciate their business, right? Or you're only spending 3 hours a month doing 50 hours of work or 100 hours worth of work, right? And you have stuff that you say, geez, I'm getting to 20 hours a week, and now I can actually spend time with my clients like Brock does. Brock, I bet that's why you're so good, because you know what? Face-to-face is first, isn't it? You know, but if all the stuff in the background is happening, you could spend more time face-to-face while you know that's being done. So those are just some of the things with automation that just change the game out there. And if you're not using some of these tools, at some point somebody will, and somebody will start saying, hey, this is a benefit. And they'll make that decision without you. In other words, they'll go to Linda instead of you, Stephanie, for the same product or something similar, because they think, oh, she's automated, or whatever makes my life easier to get to her. So that's the only reason we talk about this. Make your life easier, but also make your client's life easier. But not lose that connection, exactly. So thank you for coming. And Ron, are you going to stay around if anybody has any questions? Yes. Good. He'll stay here. He's been with SCORE a long time. He has great information. He's a wealth of knowledge, and he can help you answer those kind of questions. And if you like what you heard today and you want to go back and refer to it, it's always online. You can go to scorecv.org. And this video now, as soon as we shut this off, here's another automated thing. We'll shut this off. By the time you get to the car, it'll be on YouTube, and it'll also be on their channel live. So you can watch it and say, geez, I want to look past that. Okay, so you can go back and review that. Okay. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.